Welcome back, everyone. Once again, it's very much happy to meet you all in this online session. Today, we begin exploring the digital marketing mix. One of the most fundamental frameworks in marketing. If you have already studied basic marketing before, then you are familiar with the 4 Ps. That is, what are the 4 Ps? Product, price, place, and promotion. Today, we are going to examine how the internet has fundamentally transformed the first two of these items, especially the product and the price, in ways that would be unimaginable in the last 30 years. That means when you look into the evolution of digital marketing for the last 30 years, the digital marketing concept in respect to product and price is changed dramatically. Drastically, you can say, not only dramatically, drastically. Dramatically in the sense unimaginable, and sometimes when you are looking into the drama, you may think that whether it is possible. Just like that, it is an unimaginable way it is developed. Coming back to the deeper dive, the evolution of marketing mix, which is starting from the 4 Ps, it now came to 7 P in the service industry. After that, it become once again 4 C, that is in the digital marketing platform. This is what the evolution we are going to discuss in this particular slide. What is this 4 Ps about? Already we told you. We discussed also the product, price, place, and promotion, which was originally proposed by McCarthy in the year 1960. That was the classical mix of marketing when it was started, and people started admiring these 4 Ps concept in 1960. For decades together, they served as the milestone of marketing education and also in the practice of marketing. But still, they were all solid foundation. In spite of that, there are a lot of changes in the modern day marketing. But in 1980, you can see that scholars noted a problem in that the 4 Ps did not adequately address the importance of customer services. That's the reason, especially for the people, those who are in the businesses, in the case of service sector. So, Booms and Bittner in 1981, they included the other three important Ps: people, process, and physical evidence to address the service industry concepts. It was a very critical milestone for digital businesses also. And the 7 Ps, by adding people, process, and physical evidence, the 3 Ps additional elements constitute most of the developments in the service sectors. These elements, sometimes called the additional elements, sometimes called the service mix. We always look into the service calculating service marketing effectiveness calculation or service marketing plans. We have to plan all these 7 Ps, sometimes called the service mix, what we have to plan it and better reflect how service industries or businesses deliver value to their customers will be measured through this method of 7 Ps. And as we know, most digital businesses are fundamentally service business. That is, online itself is a service business. Then in 1990, Robert Launchburn, he proposed the 4 Cs framework. What is this 4 Cs framework talks about? He was talking about customer-centric framework, which consists of 4 Cs. Instead of 4 P, he started thinking and asked us to think in the 4 Cs concept. Instead of price, we have to think about what are all the needs of the customers, and instead of product, we have to think about what are their requirements, and what the customer is in need of it. Instead of customers place, we have to think the convenience of sales or convenience of purchase, and instead of promotion we have to think about communications. The force is remind us that the customer is always at the center of every marketing decisions. Now, why does this become the matter of digital marketing? And because the internet has amplified, and every element of this mix is amplified. It has its own implications in the digital marketing era. The brands new tools to vary their products, new channels they started introducing in the online, and they started distributing that, and entirely new ways of communication is gaining importance in the digital era. Let us go through the product and the price in detail. The product core versus the extended or augmented products. The product element of the marketing mix always involve researching customer needs and wants and developing appropriate products to meet their wants and needs. In the digital context, when we are speaking, it is useful to distinguish between two type of products, which is what I mentioned here. The product element involves the core product as well as the extended or augmented products. The core product is nothing but the fundamental solution to a customer and customer need. We will be giving a solution and asking him to pay to satisfy his the particular problem. If I buy a Microsoft Word, the core product is the word processing software. The extended or the augmented product is the additional benefits or the additional value which is given along with the core product, built around the core product sometimes. The customer support which is given by Microsoft, the tutorials, the automatic updates, the cloud storage integrations are all called as the augmented products. It's sometimes it covers the user reviews, warranty, packaging, supports, everything. So the main product is the software, but the extended or the augmented product is the packaging, warranty, supporters, use, online supports, updates, etc. That is building an additional value around the core product. The customer support tutorials is also included in that, and automatic updates, cloud storage is an additional feature, but this is also given by the Microsoft to the people when they are buying their products itself. Then the internet has drastically or dramatically expanded the possibilities for extending and enriching the augmented product. What can a brand do with their products online that was not at all possible before? You can question also whether it is possible to meet the customer online. Not at all possible. Now it is very much possible in the digital era. First, they can offer digital versions of physical products. And for example, I can give you an example. The publisher can offer a e-book along with the physical book. That is possible nowadays. A music company can also offer a streaming alongside a physical album. And a bank can offer the online banking system along with the physical branch, which is available everywhere. This is the expansion of products which is making into the new format of digital marketing. Secondly, when you are talking, they can enable mass communication and mass customization also. This is the concept of personalizing the product at the scale using the technology. Think of Nike ID, Nike, where you can create or design your own running shoes online, and you can also have them manufactured specifically for you, or you can also design your Dell computers based on the configurations which is available, and in what configuration you want the Dell computers, that they will manufacture and give you the laptop specifications. You can give it. I need 2 DP, or what is the configuration of my camera, my speaker sets, the storage facilities, the RAM speed, everything you can specify. And this internet gives freedom of the customers to customize their products. The internet has the logistics of mass customization feasible in a way that was economically impossible for the other people before the digital age. Third, the internet enables building, combining the multiple product services to a package price. That's called the bundling concept. Amazon strategy of offering the Kindle edition of the books. I was mentioning about the book, so I'm just adding that as an example. Amazon strategy of Kindle edition of a book for a minimal additional price when they buy the physical copy is a perfect example of the digital bundling. The next or the last information about the product is information based business is possible in the digital era. The internet creates entirely new product pricing models, subscription models, pay-per-view models, and also ad supported free access models. Likewise, so many models they introduced for a product. Even the premium models are available. These were all enabled by the digital era through the internet. This is the boon of the today's marketers. Then, now I'm going to ask you a question for your thinking process, what you understand till now. Can you think of an Indian brand that was successfully created a digital version of digital extension of a traditionally physical product, and what was the impact of it? We have to try to recall our memory. We have to understand what is really happening in that. Internet implications of the products are differing from core products as well as the supplemented or augmented products, and it enables the customizations. It also speed up the product development. You remember all these points when you are answering for this question, right? Let me take briefly about a quick review of a new product development in this regard also. What is that new product development? We call it as the NPD. The internet has drastically changed or accelerated the speed of NPD. Every day they are producing and testing new products in the market. Brands can now use the new product online panels, and they started improving the new products by testing the digital pricing model strategies. The example what I'm giving it to you is A by B testing. It's called a social media listing, or we call it as the test which is deals with the this or that process or choice based process. What these developments are all about. The real customers, before investing in the full development of a product, they want to go for a test marketing. Earlier we will be going and giving a sample to retailers, and we will ask them to go through that sample, give it to a reliable customers, and they will be giving a getting a feedback. Based on that they modify it. Nowadays it is not like that. You can just go to Google, and you can just test it. Social media listening pages are available. Brands can now use online panels like social media listening to test ideas with real customers before investing in full development of the product. Google, for example, routinely launches experimental features in beta, and uses real users' feedback is also collected to decide whether to build the product or not. Even I can get a mail, and you also can get a mail if you are registering it with Google, that I am willing to accept your product for a trial mail basis. I can access that. So this approach reduces the cost and the risk of new product development extremely. Example that I can quote here is Byju's. Byju's started as an in-person coaching center brand, then used internet to transform their core values into a product. This interactive digital learning platforms is a complete product transformation which is enabled by the digital economy, and now become the winning leader. We were talking about Byju's, and Byju's is one of the powerful edutech startup company which was there, and they were because of some issues with their accounting process and the strategies of marketing, they faced a lot of issues. But anyway, this was a successful company where you can say that within a short duration, the Indian company, which was occupying the edutech market globally by adapting so many companies like White Hat Junior, etc. Let's go to the next ideology called the pricings. How the pricings are going to be creating, implementing the process in the digital market. Let us talk about the price. And this is where things get really interesting. The internet has created the unimaginable economists' opinion about the call of transparency pricing. What is this transparency pricing? When economists just started telling initially, people were wondering how it is possible to reveal our cost, reveal your profit, and how you can fix your prices transparently. And it has had its own profound implications for brands, how they set and communicate the prices to their customers. Before the internet, if you wanted to buy a car and you typically went to one or two dealers or dealerships, and you will be accepted the price quotations what they are giving it, and you will be just comparing physically all these two items or three items with the dealers, which is a time consuming process also. And today you can compare prices from every dealer in a country within a fraction of second. This is the price transparency. uh, Consumers are getting knowledge about the pricings and increases, price increases, why it is happening due to the increased availability of pricing information. So why the markets are falling down, everything the consumer aware about that. The immediate consequence is that the price transparency is always creating downward pressure on prices. When consumers can easily compare the prices and choose the cheapest option, then brands don't have any other go. They are forced to compete with the on price which is going on in the digital marketing, digital competition world. This is the reason why online markets in different categories like electronics goods, books, airfare tickets, you can go to different sites, Skyscanner. You can compare the tickets and you can get the best deal out of it. These are all intensively price competitive. It is creating competitive mentality among the brands. A related concept is again the commoditization, where selection becomes more dependent on price than on differentiating the features of a product. In the commoditized or on differentiating the features in the market, the cheapest option only wins the market and only people will fall on that particular product. This is only a dangerous position for most of the brands because it erodes margins, and brands equally simultaneously they have to work very hard to reduce the prices or to maintain the competitive pricing which is prevailing in the online markets. And we have to ask a question: how do brands protect themselves against these type of price transparency or the commoditization? Two strategies are available in front of them. The first strategy is they have to compete on value, not on the price. They have to highlight their quality, their service, and they have to create a trust and the experience, make the people to experience their products and the factors. By the way, they can justify their prices as a premium pricing. And secondly, they have to educate the customers about the limitations of the prices comparison tools. We have a lot of tools and we have to tell them that don't compare simply because these sites are only comparing the rates and the timings. For example, Skyscanner, it will tell you only the rate and the one stop, two stop solutions. It is not telling about the other consequences or the luggages or anything which is added advantage or additional benefits which is available on the particular Indigo Airlines or Air India. This is not at all given there. This is only a price comparison. What all the additional advantages will be given only in their particular sites. And that you have to educate the customers, and the problems in the comparison tool should be notified clearly to the customers, and make them to believe that the incomplete informations which is provided by these sites are misleading the customers and misdelivery charges, or which is not a comparable one, which is non-equivalent products which are compared in the sites. All these informations you have to reach out the customers. Now let us discuss about the new pricing approaches enabled by the internet. When you are talking about the pricing strategies, you should also talk about the pricing strategies which is prevailing in the market. Just like the earlier four-piece market mix, we also have some sorts of pricing strategies which is available. But along with that, we also have price testing experimental pricings, which is additionally available online, not available in the offlines. Let me show one by one to you. The dynamic pricing is one of the most powerful and controversial pricing innovations of this internet era. Dynamic pricing means that it is updating prices in the real time based on the demand of the customers, competitors' pricings, customer who are entering into your traffic, or the market conditions which is prevailing. I will take once again the Amazon as an example, which changes the prices million times per day, adjusting their prices based on the competitors' pricing, demand levels which is creating, and customer purchase history also. The airlines also will be like that, and they are giving you ride hailing services like Ola, Uber, and they use dynamic pricing extensively. Price testing is also one of the component which is available in the digital marketing era, which allows the brands to experiment with different price points, and by that they will measure the customer response. And Fixmania, we call it as a European electronics retailer, he adjusted the prices of PDA, that is the products, 11 times over 14 weeks. This was one of the example where we have to look into that, and he is testing the prices ranging from $268 to $283 to understand how the customers are buying it, how they are reacting towards different type of price changes, how sensitively they are attracted towards pricings, which is the sensitive point where precisely the customers are buying more. These type of price testings are a boon to the digital marketing platforms. Then one pricing decision that many digital marketers underestimate is the impact of shopping fees. Shopping fees are available in the online. Research like Lewis et al. Shows that the shopping fees strategies significantly affect both the conversion rates as well as the profitability. Here I want to quote the Amazon Prime, which offers free express shipping in exchange for an annual membership fee, and even Lenskart. And so many companies now started issuing the free shippings, free shopping exposures they want to give it, and free shippings, free coupons, redemptions, all those things is best examples, which is the affecting part of the online market pricings, because 99 rupees plus shipping. Again, people started thinking even the shipping may be 20 rupees, 30 rupees, they are started thinking about it. This reduces the market condition, prevailing in the market, and also whoever is putting it free shopping, people will be going and buying their products, and this become a turning point for so many brands. Have you ever noticed that the product's price changed between the time when you are entering into a particular site, when you are seeing the site first time, in your first look at it, and when you went back to the buying, then you can see a different pricing. What was your emotional response to that? When I'm just taking a look of the first page, the prices may be 60% off or 70% off, like that. When I go and click it and add it to my cart, when I'm going to the payment gateway, it will change. How does these type of price changes affects your emotions? That area to be explored for your research. You can also study about these type of emotions of price sensitivity of customers when they are logging in and adding to the cart. What is the gap which is prevailing, and why these changes are happening? How many times the brands are changing? All these things, the areas where to explore. How does this dynamic pricing affects the brand's trust? We are just, I'm literally saying that I'm affected by these type of changes. I When I'm just looking into that, it was very nice to buy it. When I'm adding to the cart, when I'm looking into the final delivery point, about to pay, I can see the price is raised. I don't know what is the mechanisms they are using it, but it is subject to changes. And when I'm adding also, again, the stock is available, one or two. After that, it was not available, out of stock when I am about to take it. And also the membership fees. For the members, one type of pricing, and non-members, the other type of pricing. These are all some of the sentiments which is affecting the customers a lot. Let me close with a quick the strategies which is available in the e-commerce industry or the digital commerce industry, with different type of references. Pricing methods, you can see that advanced cost pricing methods are available. Let me close these sections with this concept of the dynamic pricing, the shipping concepts. Everything is well and good, but when you're talking about the pricing strategies, market strategies, you should be very cautious what sort of pricing the company is fixing it. Some companies will go with a cost plus pricing, the normal strategy. They will add a profit margin to your production cost, simple but inflexible, may not be competitive online. Then there is another concept called a target profit pricing. So more sophisticated, which is talking about the price point needed to achieve a specific product profit target given by fixed or variable cost, that they have to achieve it. For that, they want to run the campaigns very fastly, and they have to increase the products sales. All these popular mechanisms they will use. And e-commerce is where the variable selling cost per transaction is also very low, because they are not spending more on that, only on online ads. Then the other marketing pricing strategy is the competition based pricing. Monitor the competitors and price, set your prices accordingly. And very common is the categories with pricing campaigns, in comparing the pricing with the competitors, and run campaigns, and the risk is to face always. You have to keep your margins in a very basic levels. You cannot keep it, because when you are attacking the competitor, your margin should be very low. And the market orientation pricing has two warrants, different type of variants also. One is the premium pricing setting. The other one is the price which is which you people are thinking it as skim the pricing, skimming and the penetration. Skimming pricing is nothing but you have to squeeze the market and get the profit first, installation cost first, and then you can just give the products, reduce the price by uh, after familiarizing the product. Then it's called as the skim the cream pricing. The next concept, what you're we are the next concept what we are discussing here is the penetration pricing. So what is this penetration pricing talks about? Penetration pricing always talks about first you have to initially go deeper into the market, nook and corner you have to reach. Afterwards you can just increase slightly your pricings. First you will be doing only loss business or break even business. After that your business will be improved with due cases. When you spread it, the Ola or Swiggy or Geo introduced freely first, afterwards they started getting slowly the products prices in that, and they now nobody without Geo network can survive. To that extent they made everything accessible to you, and initially they started giving it free. Sometimes they are charging very meager. Just like that, penetrated into the market, reaching nook and corner of the customer, capture the entire market, afterwards raising the prices. This is the penetration strategy. We call it as, these are all market oriented pricing strategies. Then the dynamic pricing updates I told you about, depends upon the customer type, depends upon the price updates, market conditions. You have to make your pricings. Then to summarize today's session, I want to just talk to you regarding the key points which is available. Marketing mix which has evolved from 4 P's to 7 P's and now become 4 C's in the digital accelerated mode. And this is what the evaluation or the evolution we were talking about. Then comparing to the goods sections, we have two type of products. One is the core product, the another one is the extended products. The core product is Microsoft Word, and the supporting reviews, the online tutorials. These are all the extended products which we are giving it. The next concept of the product, as we were talking about the uh, product models and product bundlings, all these things we discussed. Then the dynamic pricing strategies and different type of pricing pressures which is created by the digital marketing platforms on brands, how they are providing the competent value to the customer, not the price profit alone their targets. So this is what the summary of the entire class sessions today. The internet has now transformed both product and price in the fundamental ways. For any type of products, it enable digital extensions, mass customizations, bundling and new pricing models, etc. For prices, it creates transparency and downward pressure, while also enabling dynamic pricing, price testings, and sophisticated pricing strategies. In our next session, we will cover the remaining elements of the marketing mix, the place and the promotion, and the three service elements, people, process, and the physical evidence. Get ready for an equally rich discussion like this in the next session also. Before end of this session, let me ask you a question for your thinking process. Students and researchers, please think the in any one Indian brand that uses dynamic pricings, and be ready to discuss in the live sessions. If possible, you can also discuss with me in the webinars in the forthcoming sections. Thank you very much. Keep on learning the concepts. The session alone will not be enriching you. Extra learnings, and I told you from the bed till your night, you have to observe everything in the marketing eyes. Thank you once again. I will meet you in the next session of my lecture, Digital and Social Media Marketing. Thank you.